Okay, Susan Janie, welcome everybody. We're back. Hopefully things have, once I just reset it, I didn't reset anything. Oh, there is. I see Chezno's. Yep, now everything's back to normal. I saw Chezno's badge. Let me see here. I'm going to bring Chezno back in here. I did see his badge. I think it's working.
No, I don't see my badge. It's
Yeah,
all right.
I saw an Ashtar Command badge pop up with your name next to it.
That's one of the stickers that comes with being a
Oh,
subscriber. Yeah.
oh, it's not?
I still
Okay.
got those. Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
it's
I'm
fine. I'm
not.
sure by tomorrow it'll be fine.
Yeah, with TikTok, things do happen, and with their technology, as big as they are, they do have some mess ups. So, welcome back, everybody. Now we're going to try to go back over 100 people on here, hopefully more tonight. And again, good evening to everybody coming back on here. And I like that woman you had before with the space outfit on. She's
Oh, you
more
like that one?
apropos. Yeah, she's more apropos of what we're.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Pleiadian.
yeah. The other one is not so much vibing. Yeah, that one
It's
is
not
more.
vibing. You get a bad
Yeah,
vibe. It's creepy. Okay, I get you.
yeah. We don't want the creepy vibe. She's really good though.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
brings in the positivity,
Agreed.
so that's a good thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, Tanky Banks. I see all her badges. I see everything popping up. That's really weird. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm not gonna
Mm.
focus on that. But anyway, we're gonna have a good show tonight. I let me see here. I know I did see for a moment. At least I thought I saw. Um, I'm shy. I'm gonna send her another invite. I could have sworn, unless I'm going nuts, that she was for a split second popping up on the
That would be
screen here.
cool. That'd be really
If I can
cool.
get her in here, we'll try to bring her in here. We'll see what happens. And like I said, we're in for. I just was reading an article. An ex-CIA agent with the Central Intelligence Agency said, and the CIA agent said, I don't remember the name. I was reading it earlier. He said that in 2027, that they're going to make themselves known. He's talking about the space people, and I thought that was interesting because we've also, when we talked to Tom Shy a long time ago, when we talked about 2027, hey, Susan, thank you. She talked about that too. But I think really that no, we didn't crash. I just restarted it because some things technically weren't working right. Um, I do think contact is starting to happen. Contact Friday night. Contact. I mean, I'm talking about contact. We're going to be talking to a space being in his group on a spaceship through a frequency.
Doesn't
I'm
get
talking
much
about
better than that.
when
Doesn't
is
get better than
contact
that.
gonna when is contact gonna happen? I'm laughing because it's gonna happen Friday night, right
Mm.
here on the show. Say, when is contact gonna happen? Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Wake
we
up,
know.
Commander.
Right?
Wake up! I got to bring Grace in here. We're gonna bring Grace up here, our spiritual cosmic advisor. Chezno is our co-host. We've have James and the Rabbit Hole coming back. It's good to hear his voice. He sounds like he's doing pretty good. We're all helping him out. That's what we do
Hmm.
here. And hey, Kit Kat, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Grace.
are you Grace's Grace on Grace?
I am. How are you guys doing tonight? How's it going?
We're doing good.
Doing good?
Evidently my moderators have not been able to use their thing, and I don't
we lost
think,
our we lost our badges.
What?
We got
and
stripped
even
of our
as
badges.
Wait a
Devastated
second.
I'm,
over here.
Let me see.
Devastated.
Let me type in. Let me see if I have a badge on my hold on, let's see what happens.
yeah, I
Uh,
think there's
so
a problem.
so I have a badge on my moderation. I have the moderation badge on.
Yeah, see, look, see, I don't even have like a gifter badge. They stripped me
Oh,
nude. Look at
are
me,
you
just
serious?
naked there with a UFO. Look how,
Well, You know, I went on TikTok the other day and I went on my wall or whatever they call it,
Yeah,
and everything was gone.
really. So then it is
Everything. It
something.
said that I had 0 followers and that I should start,
Right? What's going on?
and that I had I needed to start the elevator speech, the intro, and I thought, what? And I just said, no, 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 don't get nervous, don't get nervous. It's
All
gonna
right.
reset, it'll reset, and it did.
Yeah. So it's probably a glitch. So now I know it's not us. It's probably you with TikTok. If you're having that
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
probably
TikTok.
other
we
people
had
again.
all those iOS updates over the last 2 days that were pretty critical to
Yeah.
Apple. I don't know if you did your updates on your phone. Did you do it, Chezno? Did you?
No, I have an Android.
Oh, you do.
I
I'm
do.
Android too.
Oh, okay. Anybody in the chat do their updates? I'm wondering because they had a pretty, kind of like a glitch in the system.
Well, the solar storm the other night could have affected TikTok
I've
too.
had headaches from it, definitely feeling the repercussions from it.
Oh,
Yeah. So I have a
really?
feeling that's probably what happened.
So Rich wants to join a little bit tonight. Ultimate Rich wants to join.
Yeah, let them in.
He wants to
Yeah.
talk to me.
Where's Ultimate Rich? Let me see
Rich
here.
is gonna have to build his TikTok, but he can talk with me. He's got a lot of
Does
questions.
he have a Does he have a TikTok? His own
Yeah.
account? Nice.
Where's Ultimate
Tell him to
Rich? I
follow me.
don't
I'll
see him.
follow him back.
All right, I will. I will. We'll have to get
Is there
Rich on.
is Ultimate Rich here?
Yeah, Rich is with me right now. We can.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Say hey, Rich.
Hey, what's going
Bring
on?
him
man?
up.
Hey, Rich. That's
Hey,
Ultimate Rich.
man.
That's right.
How you guys
Good to
doing?
have you with us. We're doing good. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, it's the back door into TikTok. You use your wife's followers to get on the show. So
There you go.
The gateway.
I always thought that Grace was really a man, and that this person was actually that he uses the picture of a woman, but he actually is the woman. I
that's
don't know. What am I talking
That would be the first time in my life.
about? Or maybe he's a ventriloquist or something. I don't know.
so I
Is
had
it
said to
possible?
Commander.
It's
So
possible.
and Chezno, I said to Grace that we should do a current events type of what's in the news platform like on the show, like.
Well, we did that anyway.
And then I
but-
think the one I send them to Grace, but she has, she scrutinizes the crap out of them. So I sent her one today that talked about
Yes.
how far planets and galaxies are away from Earth and how many regular, light years it takes to travel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess my question is like, it was a pretty thorough explanation of distances and time that these spaceships, if they show up here, I mean, they need to fold time and bend time to get here. They're not just going to fly normal.
That's what they do. They
Yeah, they bend
they
time.
do bend space and time. Bob Lazar explained how it works, like an envelope in front of it, and they fly belly up, and then they slip into another dimension. Some of them are made
Yeah.
of like light, and some
Yeah.
can materialize, but it's all interdimension travel. They don't travel like airplanes. Only if they're doing like low ground type surveillance or whatever they do.
Once
I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah, I'm assuming
pretty
that once
sure.
they're in the Earth's atmosphere, they just travel that way. Or they're
Right.
but I think that's just an interesting concept for people to wrap their heads around. That you think it's the movies when you start to talk about these things, but when you talk about
The truth is way stranger than fiction, I find.
Yeah.
Way stranger.
It really is. It really is. The thing is, another part of this whole thing, you're watching Encounters. I'm CmdrAleon, your host. Chezno is our co-host. Our spiritual advisor is Grace. And she's right here, and her husband Rich are here, and he'll eventually get to go live on his own too. But what I wanted to say was that many of the spaceships, the ones that are from higher frequencies, the ones that are third dimensional, that are advanced ships in the third dimension, are very limited in where they can go. The ones that can go like interdimensionally, like Chezno was talking about, multidimensionally, different frequencies, a lot of the spaceships can go through wormholes. The wormholes in space are like going over a bridge, like the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. We're going through the mid Hudson Tunnel, a mid Queen Tunnel from New York City to Long Island, or using that example, or those kinds of things, or going through the English Channel from England to France in a tunnel under the water, under the channel. It's like it's a quick mechanism for them to travel intergalactically really quickly from one place to the other. Yeah, so they can not only bend time, the more advanced spiritual beings are able to travel in ways that we can only think of in our understanding of travel into space, or intergalactic travel, so to speak. So we can only think of it, yet they are able to do it. Now, again, as I said the other night, we have, with a regular spacecraft with an Air Force pilot, we went from the Earth all the way to Jupiter and back in 25 minutes. And we did that. Now, when you think how far Jupiter is, if you look at how far Jupiter is from Earth, you're saying, how could it be possible? We're using the ability of reverse engineered technology in a different way. We took it, or we were given the technology, we've retrofitted it into one of our regular spacecrafts, and not everybody made it. There were 2 out of the many flights that they've had that far out that actually got vaporized, or they died, but the others made it. And most people don't even know about it. We've talked about it. Grace knows, Chezno and I, we all talked about it. James knows about it.
Yeah.
And anyone here who remembers that show remembers that I'm sure I talked about how we've already done this. But there was
And also, yeah, absolutely. And when we get to the interviews, Zilla has an interesting story. He's been on before. I think he's the one that lives in Maine. I don't know if that's correct.
Our friend Zilla. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Hey Zilla, how's it going? I know I saw an amazing video from Zilla
Thanks, Taz.
on December 1st. It was like a
Yeah, he's
month
got good stuff. Definitely check him out.
Man,
And we're
did you
definitely
see
going to bring
his
him on.
video?
Say again, Grace?
Did you see his video from December 1st?
I might
I'd like to
have.
see
I
it.
watched some,
I think
yeah,
I
we'll
saw
have,
it. I'm not sure which one he's referring to, though.
It
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Thank you, Hauser.
Unbelievable. I was like, what the heck is going on? And it was extremely close to the Earth.
Mm.
Like it was,
Yeah, we're
it
going to
was
bring him
not
on too.
far away at all. And I
Yeah.
guess they were questioning if it was Starlink, and he asked in the video, "Do you think it's Starlink?" And I was like, "I don't think that's Starlink." I could see it. I could see the ship in the video. It was unbelievable, really.
Yeah, you know if there's a Starlink, and if people don't know what Starlink is, unfortunately, it's all these ridiculous satellites that Elon Musk is sowing into our atmosphere that are polluting our atmosphere with all these satellites. Why do we need so many satellites? I mean, we have enough space junk up there to last us a lifetime.
Most of them
That's
are tied to like hot air balloons too. Most of them,
yeah, it's crazy. It really is.
it really is. Yeah.
And and then you wonder, the space people, the advanced ones, they can pop in and out of dimensions without worrying about the satellites that are around our planet. They just pop right in. They don't crash into satellites.
Guys, I remember when I first had so, when I do my meditation, I would get these downloads, I still do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I got a download, I don't know how long ago, maybe over 10 years now, when I first realized the dimensional travel. Now, and I used to do that as a kid. I used to, I guess you could call it astral travel. I don't know. I never really knew what it was, but I knew as a kid I was doing it. But I realized that, it hit me one day after a meditation that the craft come in and out of dimensions. They pop in and out. And they travel. This is how they head into our, airspace. It's impossible to imagine that they would, travel all that way. You know,
Yeah.
who knows if that's potential. But quickly, so when I got the download, I knew immediately. And here we
Yeah.
are in the room talking about it. But I wanted to
Yeah.
mention, did you guys happen to see let me turn my camera on. Did you guys happen to see the coverage today on the UFO,
Oh, the UAP hearings?
the UAP hearings and some of the coverage?
About the bill?
Yeah, because
You
Congress.
want to talk about it? I was reading it earlier tonight.
Yeah, I didn't
Go
hear
ahead.
much about that. Yeah.
So I mean, I was out tonight a little bit with my daughter, and I saw something blip on the. We were out at a place where we play pool. We play pool every couple times a night, a week, and I saw something coming up on the television, and it was talking about how the Congress is really upset with the government because they don't want to release the information to them. So they were infuriated at Congress. They had a representative, one of those state representatives, up there talking about how, they are literally chosen to represent each state in the country,
Right.
and that it's important that they are given this data. If they're not given this data, not given this information on UAPs,
Right.
it's going to create, a riff, and of course it's going to make it seem like there's a cover up of some sort.
That's what they
Right.
want. They want the controversy, so so there's disinformation out there. It's just to throw everybody out. That you got to look within, like open your third eye and just get your own answers. That's what I do.
And
I agree.
I mean, the thing is, and I was reading something about Chuck Schumer, who's he's spearheading this bill in the Senate, and it's been frustrating for these people, that really do want to disclosure, and it has, the thing is, it's kind of tough looking at that and realizing they want disclosure. And Friday night, we're going to be talking to somebody on a spaceship.
Yeah,
Think about it.
exactly.
They
So I
want
guess-
disclosure.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah, we're sitting here on TikTok and we're going to be talking to somebody from a constellation in the star system Sirius. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. So I guess Lester Nair, who reports on these, on lots and lots of stuff regarding UFOs, UAPs, he says
Yeah.
that the disclosure bill has begun and all hell has broken loose.
Of course.
And here's, and the thing is, here's what you need to know. And then he gets into it and he talks about that it's imperative that people, and like how many people are in the room tonight?
134 right now.
33 right now. Guys, if you can, or if you have time, it's really easy to do this. You go onto the governmental site and you just a lot of times this stuff is prompt and you can just email your state senator, congressman, whoever it is,
Right.
state rep, and then just tell them, what you want. I mean, if we don't start speaking out, and I do this all the time, like if I want sidewalks fixed in my city, I make sure I email my representatives. If we don't start speaking out, there won't be change. But the thing is that I think their hands are going to have to be forced. Unfortunately.
They're going to have to be forced.
Yep, and eminent domain is in the legislation, which it's like a non-human origin. They want to know if the government has non-biologicals, non-biologics.
Right.
They want to know.
Right. Well, I'm sure I talked about that on one of our shows, that they have them in multi-level facilities at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And other places. We have living ETs. I don't know if people realize this.
Oh yeah.
We have,
especially
a lot of different
underground.
types.
There's so many underground bases too that we don't even know about.
Mhm. Yeah.
I know that
And
I did.
extraterrestrial beings, whoever they are, whatever they are, wherever they're from, when we've gotten them in their crashed spaceships and retrieved their ships, we've also forced these space people to stay on Earth, and we've kept them in captivity, imprisoned them, in bases, military bases. We're doing it right now. We've got ETs that are captive in military bases that are top secret facilities, and we're not letting them leave and go back to where they came from or whatever they want to do. We're telling them, no, you're going to stay here, and who knows what we're doing to them? Who
Right,
knows how we're
right,
treating them?
right.
Now, and I don't, we talk about, when you hear about things like this, and this is happening on our own planet, and that there are secret levels of our government that are involved with experimentation with these beings, doing things probably physically to them, it's not right. And I said it before when I found this out, when Shai told us about this. It's just not right. It's happening. And you know what? And I think that's going to be part of what they don't want to do, the resistance within a portion of the Pentagon and other agencies. What they don't want to do is tell people, yeah, we've got captivity. We have some extraterrestrials that we're keeping here and we're forcing them to stay here.
That would be the biggest news of the century. Could you imagine if they told people that? That'd be amazing.
And Cody's right.
Oh my God,
we don't even know the
they
half of
want
it.
to fight back so hard on this. And I did a course with Corey Good. Do you know
Corey
Corey
Good, yeah.
Good? Okay.
Oh yeah, I've read his books.
I actually have done courses with Corey Good for a little while, and he has a lot of disclosure. He was like one of the first whistleblowers to come out, and he took major. He had escaped to a secluded area with his family to protect himself and his family. And then this is when he was involved with, I believe there's another gentleman that he was involved with, and he was the one that looked like Edgar Casey, and I can't.
Oh yes. I don't remember his name. Are you talking about?
What's his
Oh
name?
man,
I know
he's on
blonde guy, and
blonde hair. I know him. Years ago I tried to get him to go on my
David
radio
Wilcox?
show.
Are you talking about David Wilcox?
Yeah.
So Corey Good and David Wilcox used to work together. They worked together for a long time. But I didn't go on to follow David Wilcox. I just went on to follow Corey Good for a little while and just do some courses with him on disclosure and some of his reports. And because he was trying to kind of, in his courses, he was leading us to preparing, for what was going to be released. And he would say that he would tell us in the room, on Zoom, that there were these biologics that they were making horrible experiments with. It's sort of like Plum Island, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying, actually. And the course was so intense that I dropped out.
Yeah.
I felt extremely uncomfortable. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I don't want to really do this, and don't want to go down this far.
Right.
And it was very negative. A lot of it was super negative. But he did talk about quite often his experiences with for some reason or another, he got called to work with the government on this. It was almost just like what happened with Dr. Greer. It was like happenstance, where they just stepped into the room, and it just happened to be that all these people were there and they got involved. They were.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't believe there's any coincidences. I feel like there.
Yeah, everything is specific. Nothing goes to waste in this life. Everything happens for a reason.
So,
and that's why you have to expose the truth. The fact is, it's like taking a human being and, the government allowing certain ET third dimensional races that have the ability to come to Earth and say, oh, you can take some of our people. But then as we're doing it, letting them do that, when a crashed spaceship comes to Earth and they're living beings that are from that ship, we don't say, okay, let me have you rest here. Here's some nice place for you to stay for a while on the surface of our planet. And if you want to contact your people on your planet, come get you, please do. We don't do that. What we do here is we experiment on space beings that have crashed spaceships. We use scalar weapons to shoot their ships down, and then we take the ship to understand the technology, and then we take the living beings and put them in almost like imprisonment into military facilities, and that's what we do. And if you don't believe that's true, it is.
It's all about the technology. They want to reverse technology so that they can improve what we have. It's terrible.
Mm.
That's a nice painting, Grace. Did you paint that? Where'd she go? She ran away.
No. She'll be back.
Yeah.
But it is terrible. Chezno is saying, and people need to realize this, that we purposely use weaponry that is made to try to take down extraterrestrial spaceships. We do it all the time. We're not always very successful. It's not always a successful thing. The more advanced beings cannot be taken down because they're very aware of what we're trying to do. Yep. Not we as a people, but
they get vulnerable too. They make mistakes also. That's why they're vulnerable mistakes, sometimes. Yeah, they let their guard down sometimes. It happens.
Yeah. But I don't think our folks from the star system Sirius are going to let their guards down. They know what they're doing on their ship, and So my whole goal is to break the matrix. Ever since I started this thing on TikTok, I've been about breaking the matrix, people's belief systems. I believe very little of what I read on the internet, and I when I do get real information, if I find something like a news story with the UAP hearings, that is interesting because that's something that's really trying to happen. Something's trying to happen. But most stuff on the internet, I don't even read half the things that are going on the web, whatever they are. I don't know what they are.
I don't even watch the news. I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything negative. As far as I'm concerned, war doesn't even exist in my universe because I totally tune it out. And we're creators of our own universe, So
right.
It's just peace and love where I live.
Right. And I understand that there is conflict on Earth, but I'm also understanding that we have the ability positively to use positive energy as we did with the spaceship thing a number of weeks ago when we did the meditation. That was very transformative. That was a positive action on encounters, and we all participated. And so what Chezno's saying is right. I mean, don't let negativity into your consciousness on this journey because we're in for a pretty crazy experience in the next few years and the next few months. You're gonna be going
exciting
on
times
roller coaster. Yeah, absolutely. And if you think the sun since late last year into this year, how many big solar storms have we had, and how many people are being affected by the sun? And you'd be almost lying to yourself if you didn't say the sun is affecting you. I'm not talking about the sun that is just bright in the day and night it gets dark. I'm talking about the electromagnetic storms that are happening on our sun. Those storms are not just normal storms, these big storms that are happening. Now, a scientist is going to look at the storms and say, wow, that's amazing. But from a spiritual, cosmic perspective, it's going to affect the cellular structure of the human body. It does. It'll affect your cellular structure. It does affect it. That's why people can say migraines, nausea, how you had the headache.
I've had headaches this whole weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a big solar storm that hit the Earth. So, of course, yeah. Now, it will, Laura says, dizzy spells, vertigo lately. There's a lot of things that are going to affect the human consciousness, right? And we're shifting into wild times, folks. I don't care where you are, who you are, or what you are. You're in for a ride of your life now.
Absolutely.
And people are going to have to meditate more, going to have to get centered more to be able to go through this, because you're going to be going through this on Spaceship Earth. You're going to be going through this, so you better get prepared. Really, I'm telling you,
So
things are starting to happen.
Someone in the comments is asking, it's Shayla, I think it is. She's asking about
Yeah, Shayla.
Tato? Tito. Are we using any kind of Tito? I mean, is that some kind of a radio?
Tito's vodka. I don't know if that's what they're referring to.
I'm talking about.
I see Tito
Oh,
Teldo.
is that his name? Ha! Sorry.
Oh, his name is Tito.
No, it's Shyla is asking. So if any of you use any kind of Tato, Teadio,
I have no idea what that is.
and I don't know what that is either. I mean, I'm seeing some things on it, but I'm not. Is that a radio, a type of radio, or something, or I don't know.
We're bringing into the universe my friend Zilla and all of our friends here. Zilla up in Maine. He's also a New Englander. Zilla, how you doing, buddy?
I'm wonderful. How are you all?
Good. How
We're
are
Hey,
all
you?
man.
doing
Good.
How are you?
I'm great. So, on December 1st, it was right after we had that big solar storm. Um, that ship, I don't know, it looked like 10 miles long. It was probably
Yeah.
about 10,000 feet in the air. And it just like disappeared over my house. And there's October 9th, I believe we had another solar storm. I saw the same thing and I recorded the same thing.
Yeah.
But what you couldn't see was what it kind of. I say it's a drone. I don't know if it was another craft waiting for them, but I believe in my other video that same thing was there and just like observing.
Mhm.
But you could see another. Like you can't see it in the videos, but I could see another. Like there was a whole fleet of UFOs waiting for this, and after this thing came through, they would all like they stay in like clumps in formation, and
Yeah.
like one by one they would take off,
Mm.
and I could see them beaming to each other like a laser beam would go from one to the other as they like pass by. They
Yeah.
were like sending laser beams to one another, and like it was pretty intense. Very
What did you
very
feel
awesome.
did you feel like they were like giving them information like with that exchange or?
Yeah, I felt like they were communicating with each other, like as they were
Yeah.
passing by, like
Okay. Yeah.
so, like one would move, and then like a few minutes later, another one would go. But I mean, there was massive. I mean, you guys got to get up here if you guys want to see some crazy stuff.
Right up in Maine, huh?
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I have every time the sky's clear, I see something. So
I
Yeah.
went to Maine a couple months back, and I was so disappointed because it was overcast, and
Yeah.
I wanted to go up onto Arcadia,
yeah,
and we couldn't do it.
that's
You know,
that
we chose not to go because it was just very, very overcast.
the
Thing.
probably the most beautiful place I've been is Acadia. Is
Beautiful.
that the Atlantic, the White Mountains coming right out of the Atlantic Ocean? It's awesome.
Mm.
Great space.
If you get up on Cadillac Mountain, you can.
Yeah, that's where
It's
we were
just
going.
such a view.
We got
Plus,
to go in the day, but not in the evening. We wanted to go there in the evening. Yeah, are you near there? Or are you
I'm 2 hours south of there.
okay?
But when I went, we had a experience there too. My friend from North Carolina came up, and we all went up there. And when me and my girlfriend were sleeping in the tent, something grabbed my girlfriend's ankles and like tried pulling her out.
Really?
Yeah, and
Like a
Yeah, it was-
Sasquatch or like a bee?
I have no idea. I have
No
no idea.
Wow.
I just know
That's
it
scary,
happened.
huh?
Yeah. It's beautiful up there. It's like pristine. It's very crowded because a lot of people go there. It's one of the most visited parks in the country, I guess. I
Wow.
didn't know that.
Really packed when we went.
Yeah.
Really packed. I mean, you couldn't even park to go walk anywhere. It was so busy because
Yeah.
it was summer.
Yeah, I've been to, I didn't even know that park was like a lot of these like cliffs
Oh,
and
thank
the
you.
oceans and stuff are pictures are taken at Acadia. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like we've been getting, I mean, when the sky's clear, they chemtrail my area heavily. So it's like a lot of
They're
that.
trying to they're trying to prevent you from being able to see anything.
Yeah, and I live right near PWM, whatever it is, a Portland's airport, the biggest airport in Maine, and I mean, I see all types of aircraft all the time, but I know that the government knows what's going on because, like, all of a sudden flights stop, and then, I mean, I constantly see planes, and then when that happened on October 9th, my neighbors saw that too. So one of them was like, "Oh, that's just afterburn from a jet." I'm like, "Yeah, that's quite the afterburn," but
Yeah, typical fluoride user. Right?
yeah. So I've also been researching, like, like what's in all the stuff they're spraying and like what they're putting in our food and all this stuff, and a lot of it's to dumb us down and keep us lower vibrational. I built a nano bucket, which it's like an electromagnet, and it pulls all the heavy metals and the stardust that they're spraying out of your feet.
Yeah.
And man, what a change! I feel amazing. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. It's
Nice, dude.
I've lost so much weight since, like, I stopped eating meat and
Hell yeah.
smoking cigarettes and all that stuff. And
Keep it up, bro.
yeah, I'm outside all the time, and those ships aren't here for me. It's like my girlfriend was kind of like, "Oh, you're going crazy," and now it's her time to see. So now she's going through it. So it's not it happens.
You were freaking out on that video.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was freaking out too because it's like it's shocking when you see something like that. It's like Starlink doesn't just disappear either. So
That was very.
yeah.
Like it literally showed itself in video. I felt like am I muffled?
Yeah, your microphone's a little off, I think. It's like distant. It sounds distant.
How's that? A little bit better now?
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, I don't have my actual mic plugged in. I should probably just plug it in.
Yeah.
Need to work on better technology.
Yeah,
'Cause,
absolutely.
I don't like to be so close like this. I just come away a little bit.
I know. I need like a stand for my phone.
I have an awesome one I just got that I love.
So-
a new one.
Someone's saying, let me interrupt anybody. JB says, "Are folks on the level with CmdrAleon?" Okay, so that's an interesting question. Are folks on the level with CmdrAleon? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Can you explain, JB, what you mean?
Probably not, I'd say. Commander's on a whole different level.
Definitely.
For everybody out there having
This guy's from Mars, okay? A whole nother level.
the symptoms of from the
I'm from Mars.
CME, rife frequencies definitely help out with these symptoms and stuff. Sound healing.
The symptoms, the JB, the question, are folks on the level with CmdrAleon? Well, you're talking to CmdrAleon. You're seeing CmdrAleon. I'm actually here. I exist.
And Commander
Ask me that question.
Leon's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, big
I
time.
am CmdrAleon.
So
It's a good
so
level.
People, it's a good level, yes. Not only am I from Mars, but last night on the show we had UFO UAP on. He told us, I won't go into it because he had some negative experiences on another live thing he went to. But I'm also a conduit. This is going to blow your mind there, JB. I'm a conduit. I didn't know I was a conduit a few months ago, early in the year, but I found out that I'm a conduit for the cosmic Christ. Well, what that means is, without ego, I'm a vehicle for the Christ. When the Christ needs to use me, the cosmic Christ uses me. So with UFO UAP last night, he still had vestiges of this bothering him, what happened to him. I won't get into it. But I used my hand, and people know this, and I'm going to show you something, and it's going to blow your mind, because I'm just a vehicle. I don't claim to do anything. I'm just a vehicle. I hear myself echoing a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to take right now, I'm going to have everybody close their eyes for a minute. and I'm going to blow your mind. If you let yourself go, clear your mind, clear what you believe, throw all your belief systems out, I'm going to show people something, and I'm not going to tell you what you're going to feel or not feel. But I'm going to do this right now on the encounters. Right now. Close your eyes. I ask that the Christ come in. I ask that the Christ use me as a vehicle of light. I ask that Jesus Christ, Sananda, the cosmic Christ, utilize the energy of my hand to shoot energy into this whole broadcast right now. Everybody close your eyes, including JB. Clear all your thoughts out, what your belief systems are right now. In a count of 3, I'm just going to do this once. I'm going to go closer to the screen, even though you can't see my hand here. The hand does exist. It's right here. 1, 2. It's done. Okay, Kracken, we'll definitely invite you on here, man. I just did this for one reason. I want to see how many people actually did what I said to do and how many people felt something.
Oh, I definitely felt something.
I do.
I felt energy for sure.
I believe what I experienced on December 1st was the arrival of several ascended masters, and that's what I've been told. So
Yeah, tell
there's
us about your encounter. Tell us about it because
Yeah.
the video is blow your
it's
mind.
it's crazy because like I started throat singing. I was out there playing my didgeridoo too, and so I've been playing. Now I can play my didgeridoo and throat sing at the same time, and I can hit these tones that like they sound almost robotic. But that night, I don't know. I got some sort of download, and I was just throat singing all night, and it's
You definitely have
it's strange.
gifts. You definitely got gifts, downloads, man. Props. That's awesome.
And
What's up,
And we all,
guys?
hey,
so
Kraken, good to have you back on with us. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Good. How
it's
you
an
doing?
experience.
Good.
It's crazy experiencing that because like you're just like something's coming through you, and you have to get it out. And like I don't know. It was like they were telling me to look into Taoism, so I've been studying a lot of. I bought Manly Hall's Secret Teachings of All Ages. I mean, all this information you can get internally, but the universe has told me I got some blockages to protect me because I have a task that I need to complete that I can't activate too early, so they don't want me to, for my protection and what I have to accomplish. I get information in bits and pieces, so it's
What are
like,
you trying to accomplish? Do you have like an end goal? Like, do you know?
I don't know. It's
Kind of
just like
you're kind of just taking it as you go. Totally.
I talked to Commander about it like last time we spoke. I had a solar plexus blockage. When I was meditating, I kept getting stuck in this like golden wormhole, and I didn't know what it was, and I looked into it, and it was cool for a couple days, but then like I'm like not going anywhere, and it was a solar plexus blockage, and once I got through that, I started getting some more information, and it's just like coming in bits and pieces, and my past
I
lives.
feel you, man. That's awesome, dude.
And let's also
Yeah.
bring Kraken into our discussion here. This is Encounters, the UFO spiritual talk show. I'm CmdrAleon, your host. We have Chezno, our definitely co-host. We have our spiritual counselor, Cosmically Grace. She's sitting on a beach in front of some stones behind her. And we have Kraken. Hey, Kraken, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what would you like to share with us tonight?
Yeah, my son came home for Thanksgiving, and this is after we talked the first time,
Right.
and he was out in the yard, and he was taking the dog out, And when he was coming back in, he started screaming and ran into the house. And I was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And he said something was floating above the tree, and he wasn't sure what it was, but it was a light. And it was the light the size of I don't know, like a car.
Yeah.
And it freaked him out so bad that he started crying and ran into the house. I ran
Really?
back outside to see what it was, and as I ran outside, there were just sparkles that were dissipating, and that was it.
Really? It was as big as a car, did you say?
It was about the size of a car, like a small car.
Small car. It could have been an unmanned, it could have been an orb, a large orb, like a big enough orb that was unmanned from a larger spaceship, like a multi-dimensional type of craft. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to tune in on it, but you saw sparkles of it when you ran out. That obviously it was disappearing, and it's left. But it was there when he was outside, correct?
Oh yeah, he saw it clear as day, and this isn't the first time he saw something out there.
Really?
Something's trying to contact him. That's how
Yeah.
it started for me.
Yeah.
Now this might sound really really strange, but
Not here.
when he was about 10, he said that there was a figure about 12 feet tall. It had jeans on, and the upper half of it looked like a bat.
Wow.
That's weird. That's
Like the
very-
Mothman. That's
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Wow.
That's interesting.
He ran in the house screaming and crying.
Wow. That'll do
I mean,
it.
To be honest, I think anybody would be, if I had that happen, I'd be kind of, honestly, I probably might be the same way.
Yeah, the first time I saw an insectoid, I was a little freaked out. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
That's intimidating. That's
Yeah.
very intimidating.
But the thing
I
is,
thought- I thought it was somebody trying to play a trick, so I ran outside with a bat, and there was nobody there, and there's no way that this person could have got away that quick.
and they probably were probably a space being of some sort. I'm not getting a reading as to where they're from, but I can't. For some reason, I can read a lot of things, but I really would love. I'm not really tuned into the consciousness of what they are or who they are. Probably I'm being protected not to do that. I don't know who they are. I think I'm not getting that they're very highly. They have some knowledge, but I think this thing that was as large as a car, that's a different group of beings. I think he's having encounters with different intelligences that are of all different frequencies.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about what's going on. He has to figure out, without being in fear, who he's going to be in contact with. One of the things I will say, if he's having contact with these different energies, he's got to put a protection around him. Because if he doesn't, all these different beings are going to come to him. He might be a point of light for them, and they're all coming to him, regardless of who they are, no matter whether from the third dimensional levels of this particular universe or whatever. He's got to put a protection. That's the first thing that I know he has to do, based on what you're telling me. He needs to learn how to put a Chrysler protection around him. Also, put a Chrysler protection around your whole area, where your yard is, where your house is, where the whole bit. I mean, and he has to make a decision and say, look, I will not allow contact with any energies that are not Christed. And if they're not Christed, they can no longer come into your area where you live on the planet.
That's
So
the
I would definitely think that is the most important thing to do when I hear stories like this, because we don't know what kind of energies he's dealing with.
He's speaking the truth too, because I had a lot of low vibing things visiting me when this first started happening, and
You're like a conduit, bro. We need you at the next C5.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
I
and
I
when it gets
definitely
warmer out.
definitely.
But
Who are
it's
you
warmer
talking
out.
to?
No, I was talking to you, Kraken, but I believe Chenzo was talking to me.
Yeah, it's Zilla, but the more the merrier.
I've
got
taken
you.
some photos recently,
Yeah.
and I've definitely caught some interdimensional things going on. I caught this being in my yard. It kind of looks like a duck, like a duck man thing. And
Huh.
I have another photo, and it's like, I don't know. It kind of looks like what people on Earth think Jesus looks like, and it's being with long hair and a white robe, but it's in different. He's in different poses, and this is in like complete darkness. I took this picture.
How did you how did you see this? That's interesting.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
heavy.
feel the energies, you know what I mean, and like I just start taking pictures. Like I feel when something's around, you know. So like I communicate with things, and I definitely have some telepathic abilities, and this I can just feel it, you know what I mean. It's
Right. Totally. No, I get it,
Well,
dude. I totally get it.
well, you know what it is? Feelings, Zilla and Kraken and everybody. Feelings are the way you have to look at it, because you can't think. Well, you can think about whatever you want, but whenever I know that there's my space brothers near me or things like that, it's always a feeling of energy. You feel it. You know, you're not going to think, is it happening? Because you're thinking about, oh, you know, is there something happening here? Am I really thinking
Wow, what
that
was
there's something
that?
happening?
Did you
That
guys
was a
hear
train.
that? All
I
right.
heard
That's a
that.
train. We have a train station about 4 blocks up ahead of me. So the trains come through all times of the night. It's you know, it's great to be near a train station. It's kind of cool. So that's
Yeah,
a
it
train.
is.
You know, it's not a spaceship crashing into my town or something.
That would be cool.
I have a
We
dream.
don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. You know, so I love trains, but you know, so it's a matter of feeling. I mean, the thing is, for everybody watching this show, you yourselves have had times out there when you know something from a non-terrestrial level is going to happen, whether it's visitations with space people, whether you're going to have a sighting appear, you know, where you live or wherever. It's all about feelings. You always got to tune into your feelings. If you do that, that's the truest amount of information you're going to get. Now, when you're thinking about whether something's going to happen, you're going to spend the whole life sitting there thinking, and then you're not going to feel and see what's happening, because you're going to be thinking, when is it going to happen? What just happened? Is it going to happen? Because you're going into the happening, is it going to happen? You're questioning everything you're doing, and you're not pointing yourself into feeling what's happening. Like, you know, when we do a C5, when you have a group of people, and Zilla can relate to this, and even Kraken, I'm sure, could too. When you have a feeling something's going to happen, it usually does. When you think something's going to happen, maybe, maybe not. But when you
My
feel it, you
son,
know it.
my son had made sure that I asked you guys, do orbs change colors?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yes, yes. And the colors, great question. The colors of orbs. Now, again, I'm going to be very specific here, because there's orbs that are orbs from past people that have passed on, and there are extraterrestrial, non-terrestrial orbs that are related to cosmic events. Those specific type of orbs can change colors, and that represents a vibrational pattern and a frequency of where those space people come from.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Commander. I was about to exactly say that. Right on. They
So
match,
Yeah,
like the
so
color of light matches the frequency of where they're located.
that's right.
I
And
sorry to interrupt.
He's been seeing these things his whole life.
his whole
He's got a
life.
gift. He's got a gift.
How
Work
old
on
is he
it.
now? How old is he now?
He is now 20, but he's been
20.
seeing these since he was about 6.
6 years old. Interesting. I'm just here contemplating as you're telling me about him being 6 years old. That's a
He
long
was
time.
afraid. He was afraid to mention it back then.
Okay, it's when he has these things happen. This is really crucial. In all his life since he was 6, has he had encounters with any positive beings? Has he told you of any stories of positive contact?
He's not sure if they're positive, but he's sure that he has had contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
See,
didn't
this is
say
the
they
thing.
were negative or positive.
So this goes back to something that I teach always, is that because he's having encounters since he was 6 and he's 20, he's got to set perimeters parameters down. That he has no idea, and it's not his fault. He has no idea how to set the parameters down. That's where my teaching comes in on this show. There has to be parameters set. It goes back to the whole thing of he needs to learn. Maybe he needs to come on the show. We need to talk to him, I think, one night and talk to him about setting parameters and learning how to set cosmic parameters that the Christed beings of light protect him, and that he gets to know who he's communicating with since he's been 6 years old. Now, also, fear, when he's running in and has fear, it doesn't mean that the beings out there or whatever it is negative either. But we don't know that because we only know a little about him. And I think we need to find out whether the fear is coming from the mind, because the mind doesn't understand what's going on. I'd like to find out whether he's ever had missing time since he's been a kid. Has he had any missing time?
No, but he is very socially anxious. I doubt he would come on here because he's afraid to talk in public.
Mm-hmm. I got
even though he's protected by, like, his face isn't going to be shown,
right. That's
so
right.
to speak.
He's really afraid to talk about it.
Yes.
Wow.
So on my hiatus, I don't know if I told you, but I had a friend staying with me, and my girlfriend as well, and I was experiencing this too.
I mean, do you want to hang out?
It was like it sounded like there was a radio playing in the other room, and like no matter where, like we were all experiencing it. So I kind of meditated on it, and there was this being just following us around, and it was just like broadcasting radio. And I was like, what are you doing here? What's your name? And
Right.
it just
What do you
answered me.
want?
Yeah, it was just like it. And I was like, well, I don't mind if you're here as long as I put out my protection and stuff. And it wasn't. It didn't have any ill intent or anything. It was just like there. It was there for a couple days and then gone. And it didn't. It was just odd. It was just like.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was a weird experience, but we were all experiencing it, and it was like, so like once I, like, because I can open my third eye now while I'm, just standing here, and it's, I put a lot of work into doing that.
Like
and,
you could do it like on command. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me a
Commander.
few seconds.
Yes. Yes,
Commander,
Hold on.
what changes them to what causes them to change colors?
Oh, the orbs? Is your son asking that question?
I'm asking.
Okay, you're asking. Okay. I thought he was in the room with you for a minute.
No, he's not here.
Okay. So in terms of the question of why they turn colors, it's the vibrational pattern. So I know a lot about this. Being that I work with the Ashtar Command, I've worked with them before there was internet communications or whatever, websites. It's the colors. So when you come, let's say, for example, you went outside and you saw 10 different multicolored orbs that were, let's say, specifically ET related. And you felt all this beautiful feeling from those orbs. It's because they come from a higher spiritual frequency of light. Now, I don't want to talk above anybody here. I'm trying to put it in a framework that people can understand. Hopefully some people understand this. So, Chezno, all these things are back on there again.
Also, it'll align with your frequency. If you're like opened your crown chakra and you're on their frequency, you can communicate with them.
Yeah. The whole thing. It's when you align with their frequency. If your son ever sees multicolored orbs, and he doesn't let his mind get the best of him, he can communicate with those orbs and find out where they're from. He can ask questions. These orbs, these ET orbs, or what I call non-terrestrial orbs. I'm not talking about spirit orbs that are people that have passed on. I'm talking about the extraterrestrial orbs. So if they're multicolored orbs, they are an intelligence. They can take the looking of a large orb, a small orb. They can take the physical form of a human being, a light being. They are not limited by consciousness. So when an orb of this type does what they do, yes, Stormy, it's true. They don't.
Which is why like people that play with Ouija boards and that are lower vibrational people, it aligns to that frequency. That's why they have attachments that are negative. But if you open up the crown and you have a higher frequency, you're going to attract the positive light entities.
I have a buddy here. He has serious contact. Do you want to hear a story?
You would love to hear a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
just a minute.
Hey, Kracken, check out my videos, because you can see in like my pictures and stuff, you can see the beings in the orbs.
Hey, Joe,
Okay,
thank you.
I will.
Yeah,
Okay,
before
so
you go move on to your friend Kraken, I just want to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
So does your son have any kind of does he want to continue contact, or like where is he at with this? Does he feel like this is just happening organically? Is he calling to these beings? What's happening with that?
It's happening organically. He doesn't call for them. It happens randomly, and when he least expects it.
But is he okay with it? Does he want it to stop, or is he okay with it?
And sometimes he's afraid of it
Okay.
Really?
because he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where what Commander was saying earlier about being able to get in touch with what he's experiencing, being careful not to fall into the hands of the wrong people who might encourage, contact with beings that are not safe, and, knowing that you need to use your discernment, because he's wide open. He's wide open.
Right.
Yes, definitely wide open.
And so it's really, really important that he gets hold of this in some way. But it sounds like he's doing a good job with it so far, because he's innocent. And he doesn't get it.
He comes running to me and tells me, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
he's seeing a little bit of everything, which is very interesting. Usually when people, like, the third eyes are blown open, and for some reason, I'd be interested in knowing about his history to figure out why he's so, was he born that way? Was he seeing things as a young baby, or?
When he was about a year old, he had to get eye surgery. He had something called strabismus.
Yeah, my daughter had that, actually. I know what that is.
And he didn't start seeing these things until after that.
Oh, interesting.
And he's had a couple more surgeries since then.
Wow.
Interesting. My daughter had strabismus surgery, when she was a baby. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, any kind of surgery can be altering, it can alter the way you see things. And so he probably has a different vision than most.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now
His pineal gland's definitely open.
He definitely wants to get a hold of this before, something like what happened to me, like he has a draconian and a naga on your back porch.
Well, that's where I'm really strong about people having these experiences. If people get in touch with Christ consciousness and ask that Christed beings protect them, they won't have all these different beings coming into their lives. The reason why most people have it is because they don't have any way of figuring out that they can do something to protect themselves. A lot of people that are innocently, having contacts with all kinds of beings, need to choose which beings they're contacting, that are contacting them. If, if someone says I have 10 different types of beings, one's 5 are negative and 5 are really like spiritually loving, then cut off the communications with the other 5, but they don't know how to do it because they're not operating truly in protecting themselves. And that's the one thing I teach people. If you don't know how to do that, ask me, and I'll tell you right on the show how to do it. I will.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear my friend's story?
Oh, yeah, I want to hear your friend's story, definitely.
All right, here he is.
All right.
All right, hi, my name's Travis.
Hey, Travis. Welcome
How you
to the
doing,
show.
Travis?
Good. Me and Kracken go back. We've known each other since we were about 3-4 years old, something like that. And
Wow.
as far as me, I've never had any childhood contact or anything like that. The first time ever was 2011. I was dating this girl. Her name was Wendy. Her family didn't really think too much about me, and except her aunt. Her aunt was the only one that kind of liked me out of the whole family. Well, I guess her mom did too, but her dad really didn't. But you know how that goes, protecting his daughter, But anyhow, we were living in Claysburg, Pennsylvania, in a 6-bedroom house. It was me, my mother, my sister, and her. We lived in the upstairs. They lived in the downstairs. 3 bedrooms down, 3 up. And we were splitting the rent. Well, her aunt got sick. And one night she got a phone call. Her aunt passed away. She woke me up in the middle of the night, and she was too hysterical to drive. She said, "Can you please drive me to Tyrone before the coroner gets there? I want to see my aunt." So we down as fast as I could. We got to see her aunt while she was still in bed before the coroner took her and all that. Couple months went by. We went to the funeral and all that. We were laying in bed one night, went to sleep as usual, me and her. I had the bedroom door shut upstairs. And like I said, my mom and my sister was downstairs, and it was a huge house. Something woke me up at like 1 in the morning, almost like I had to go to the bathroom or something, but I didn't. And I just remember opening my eyes, and when you open your eyes to go to the bathroom or something in the middle of the night, you just don't jump right up. You might open your eyes and just like look or stare or look around for a second, then get up. Well, when I looked forward, her aunt was standing at the foot of our bed. She was laying beside me, but she was sleeping. I could only see from her knees up, like she was floating in front of the bed. She was staring at me, and I kind of wiped my eyes and looked again, and she was still there. And all she said it just like this. She said, "Get out." And I was like, I was kind of shocked. I couldn't even move. She said, "Get out." And I still couldn't move because I was thinking, like, I got to go up over her to get out the door or around her aunt to get out the door. So while I was thinking about which way I wanted to go, she said, "Get out!" Like loud, like it scared me so bad. Yeah, sorry for being so loud.
So you had.
I wanted you to know how she.
You're good, dude.
She screamed so loud. I felt like the hair on my head blew, and I'm bald. It was. So I up over her, grabbed a hold of the bedroom door as fast as I could, and ran down the long hallway to get downstairs. When I was in the middle of that hallway, it felt like I got shoved the rest of the way. And I turned around, and there was nobody behind me. I went down the steps so fast, I fell down the steps face first, somersaulted. By the time I got to the bottom, my mom come up. She come running out. "Oh my God, what is that noise? What happened?" And then I told my mom, and she's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Mama, I swear I'm not lying."
This was all at your house, like where you grew up?
No, it was no. My mom moved there in 2006, and I was working out of town till 2011 when I came back home. I lived there for maybe a year. Everything was fine. And her aunt passed away, and that happened like a couple weeks after. She wanted me to get out for some reason. When I got out, I went downstairs. Maybe about a half an hour went by, and then here come Wendy down the steps. And my mom knew and I knew, but she didn't know that we already knew. So I said, "Hey, how are you?" She's like, "Fine, why?" I said, "What are you doing up?" She said, "Just getting something to eat." So then I went out in the kitchen and said, "Wendy, listen, your aunt was at this," and I didn't that's all I got out. She said, "I know." I talked to her, and I said, "Well, why'd she scream at me? Like, what?" I was scared. I was scared. I was still shaking. She said, she's not mad at you. She just wanted to talk to me. There was some closure that needed to be closed, and she didn't get to say it before she passed away because she passed away unexpectedly. Everybody knew she was sick, but the doctor told her she had a lot more time than what she did. And as far as contact, that was the only thing I ever had, and nothing ever again as far as that kind of contact. But I will say, since that day, that was in 2011. This is 2023. I'm now 40. So in that time, I've been in 5 really bad car wrecks. One with me and my mom. My mom punctured lungs, neck, broke her back. Like she was intensive care for 7 months. Another one, I split my head open. The doctor said they never seen anything like it in their lives. 5 bad car wrecks. I all should have been dead in every one of them. And you know what? Every one of them, I didn't even really get hurt except the scar that's on my forehead. That was the only one. But the car rolled 11 times 220 feet on the highway with the cruise control on 80. My mom broke damn near every bone in her body, and I didn't get hurt. I wasn't even sore. So my point is, you just, I tell people, if you don't believe and stuff like that, take it from what happened to me, just from the car wrecks. And even if you didn't believe in anything like that before, you have to now, because certain situations people are in, whether they're car wrecks, whether it's jumping off a cliff for fun, swimming, whatever it is, if bad stuff happens and you survive stuff that you shouldn't, there's a reason for that.
Well, there's more to that than that,
I think
if you look at it like this, for anyone who doesn't believe, you can speak to yourself in your head. You can hear your voice. You're not audibly talking. Who's talking? Who's,
Right.
who's that voice?
Where are you receiving the information from, like the ether? Yeah.
Right.
So that's your spirit, it's...
Right,
Yeah.
There's,
You're in the guidance. You're in the
being.
guidance. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Grace.
That's your inner being speaking.
Yeah. We all have an inner voice, an inner, I call it the higher self.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when you go through those experiences, now you can move on and say, I went through all this. Now, and part of what we do here is to get people to, move on from that experience, which was an incredible story, to now the higher frequencies, the higher vibrational patterns. So now you've been through that, which was not the greatest experience, but now, do you do any meditation?
You know what? Be honest, I recently started because for some reason I've been really angry lately, and I don't know why. I've tried everything. The only thing I was ever diagnosed with was ADHD when I was 5. I'm now 40. I pretty much got that under control. But I'm just angry, and I don't know why.
It's your body. Your body's dumping all the lower emotions, getting ready for the higher.
You got to unblock your
Yeah.
chakras. Your chakras are blocked, like Zilla was saying earlier. Meditation can help that for sure.
Right frequencies.
Right. Yeah.
So about the car wrecks, real quick. What do you have to say about that? Like, honestly, there's 5 I should have never survived. The one, the state police didn't even think that I was in the vehicle or I was the one driving. He said, "No, it's not you. Whoever was driving that vehicle's dead."
It was divine intervention. It just wasn't your time.
Yeah.
Okay, so because my mom said,
do you believe in the angelic realm, that there are angels that can help you?
yeah, I do believe that.
Okay. So
That's
the
kind of
reason
what my
why,
mom said. Maybe that was my Aunt Tammy cradling me or something. Or
Let me
I
explain
just don't know
something.
how to look at it.
Okay, so everybody, everywhere, has unseen guardian angels. Every single person. A lot of people don't realize it.
Assigned to you. Specifically you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So you have more probably than one angel. Those angels are the ones that prevented you from not being here. Now the thing is, and I'm getting information to help you on a galactic spiritual level here. That's your next step with all that anger that's built up. When you meditate, there's certain types of frequencies, vibrational patterns of music. Suggest you listen to Christed ambient music. I listen to it. I'll play some of that on my radio show sometimes. if you go on YouTube, just type in Christed ambient sounds or music.
I'm writing that down. Can you spell that first word? What is it?
Yes. Okay, it's ambient, it's Christed, 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 ambient, ambient, ambient music.
Yep.
I want you
I've
to go
listened to
on.
some ambient music on YouTube. It's like peaceful kind of.
But this is different. This is going to be a very specific frequency. So when you listen to Christed ambient music, it is a Christed frequency. When you listen to that music and that frequency, listen to it, allow yourself to be, the music is going to take you and your anger out. It's going to take you into another state of consciousness. And as you go into that state of consciousness, you'll say to yourself, and this is part of what I teach in my workshops, which are basically when I take people off the planet, is that I ask that the Christ protect me. I ask that the Christ take away my anger. I ask that the Christ take away all the negativity and give it to God. And as you continually do that, I will guarantee you that you will be a different person. It'll take a little bit of time because you have all this stuff over the years built into you. But if you do exactly what I'm stating, you will feel better. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something right now. I'm not going to take your anger away from you and do anything or take your energy away, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you something without taking something from you. I want you to close your eyes.
All right.
I work as a conduit with the Christ. I did this earlier for somebody. I did it for everybody. I'm going to do this right now. You won't see. You can see my hand here. Okay? This is my hand. I want you to close your eyes, get all your thoughts out, and if everybody wants to participate, they can. I'm going to do this again for you specifically. I ask that the Christ help this person and heal this person, and that the Christ clear them of all the anger and all of what they've gone through. I ask that a protection of energy be put around them constantly, wherever they go. And in the count of 3, I ask the Christ to come through and use me as a conduit to heal this person. I want you to close your eyes. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. And if anything comes transmitted to me, I'm giving it right back up to God. Nothing gets attached to me, it goes right back up to God. 1, 2, 3. Palm of my hand's getting warm. It's getting warmer, getting warmer. I'm sending a beam of energy into your body, into your consciousness, into your body, into your consciousness, as a conduit for the Christ. I'm doing absolutely nothing right now. In a minute, it'll be done. Wait a minute. Just a little adjustment. Okay, it's done. You can open your eyes now. I give whatever was taken is given back to God, given back to the Creator, given back to God. Nothing is to stay here. It goes all back to God. It is done. That's it.
I'm gonna be honest. This is crazy for me to even say this, just for myself, because I've believed, but it took some stuff for me to believe. Like things happening to me to realize.
Tell me how you feel, not what you believe.
And that's what I was getting to. I felt
okay
when you started, I had my eyes closed, and you said let everything go. I did. I tried to just let it. The first thing is I kind of felt a little relief, like a little better, not so much weight on my shoulders, and then just my whole body just started getting tingly with like goosebumps or something, like my hair was standing up, but everywhere, from head to toe, literally head to toe, not just one spot, everywhere. Yeah.
And your angelic beings, the angels, I'm asking the angels to protect you. Now, I work on many galactic levels. I'm from Mars. I came from Mars to here on Earth in physical form. I'm a Christed being of light. I work with the Christ. But there are many Christed beings of light from other planetary worlds. There are people on here that understand that they are Christed beings of light, that you're starseed. You are now going to be protected. You are now going to, the angels will help you. Angelic beings are going to help you.
Yeah, so I have something to add to that too, Commander. For your friend Kracken, what is your first name? What's your friend?
Travis.
Travis.
Hey,
Yeah.
Travis. So, I think what you need to do is let go of your experiences with the car accidents and know that those are done and finished,
Mm-hmm.
and that you
Yeah.
can step forward into a new experience now. And I totally agree with Commander, inviting the Christed energy into your field and learning about how to align with your spirit and your inner being. And somebody mentioned in a group, which I thought was really good, in the chat, cinematics. Have you ever heard of cinematics? It's sort of, or like binaural beats. They're like,
No.
it's like a tone that is healing. And it's very similar to what Commander mentioned earlier about, I think Commander mentioned Christed music.
Yes,
Christed,
it's ambient Christed music.
yeah.
It does exist. It's amazing.
So the schematics will help you with the physical part of it. It's physical and spiritual, but it'll help with alignment of like pineal gland activations, which will help you to connect more to the spirit that'll guide you, and you will not feel as much fear. It's really because you've had that trauma. You're connecting to the fear. I mean, let's face it, 5 car accidents, that's a lot.
And I keep going back with the car wrecks as far as letting go. I've let go of them. The only thing that I couldn't let go of is why it was after I seen her aunt at the end of my bed. That was, like I said, the only thing I've ever seen and then the 5 car accidents happened. My thing with them was it wasn't hard to let go of them. I've been dwelling on them as far as, is there some, like, that's what really made me believe that there's something out there, because I shouldn't have been alive. And my question to you was, what is that? Is like, you answered it, but that was my question. Was it an angel? Was it a spirit? Was it luck? Was it, like, how do you survive that much? And I just wanted to know what it was, that's all. I didn't know if it was some type of relative looking out or,
Yeah, and I hope that you feel in some way that you receive some kind of satisfaction, by being in the room tonight, and that you
I
feel
do. Yeah, I do.
peace.
100%.
Because it's really important that you understand that that's the reason why you're here. I mean, I feel like the two things that you experienced may have had a correlation, but I mean, let's face it, our lives are all serendipitous, right? Everything means something. But like sometimes people just take what they experience too far, and it affects them walking into the future. So leave it in the past, learn from it, take what you need, and then move forward.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, and I thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, we thank you.
And I'll hand
Thank
you
you
back.
for sharing.
Yeah, and I'll hand you back to Kraken. Thank you guys very much.
Oh, you take care of
Thanks
yourself,
for sharing,
man.
dude.
Hey,
And
excuse me, guys. I'm gonna jump off. I'm freezing. I don't have any socks on. I'm in my sandals,
there you go.
and it's snowing out. So, I'll see you guys. Love you all. Have a good
Thanks for
evening.
coming on,
Take
dude.
care of yourself.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll be on.
All right. Take care. Thanks for sharing your story about your son, and we thank Troy for coming on as well. We're gonna take him out here. Let's do this, and we're coming out to this is Encounters, the late night UFO ET spiritual talk show, and we do sometimes slightly go off. Hey, late night trucker, welcome, and thank you for who just did the gift thing here. Which one was that?
That was like the Rose from Beauty and the Beast.
Wow, that was great. I want to thank them for sharing their stories. There's so much going on. Sometimes we will delve into helping people in certain things unrelated to this. and it was worth helping them because it was so important. Hey, Loretta, thank you. It was, and sometimes it's important to do things, because we're here to do the mission work as well as having a UFO show. Sometimes we have to jump in, and I feel, Grace, what you said, and everybody helped him. I think he will start feeling much better once he hears the frequencies of the Christed levels on the ambient frequency. It will affect his cellular structure, and will also he will feel much better. And I think he's in a new. The fact that he came on, I think he now had a clearing, and I think he's going to be much better for it. We're coming up to 12:38 in the morning here on the East Coast, and all three of us are on the East Coast. We're going to start winding down our show. I want to thank all the people for their gifts. I certainly appreciate it. Become a subscriber. It seems like the TikTok thing is kind of corrected itself a little bit, I think.
Did it? I'm still not popping up with the badges. Let me see.
Some of the people,
No.
some of the
No.
moderators have their badges and some don't.
Yeah, I don't
think
have. Yeah, some of them do, some don't.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
hopefully-
that might reset itself.
And I still
Yeah.
have my ability to, when I go on here, it tells me I have the ability to block people. So I guess it's affecting certain people and other people not. It's really weird. But anyway, and we do have somebody, I think, who wants to be a guest here. Who we have here? Blanco. Let me see what Blanco. Let's make sure Blanco. We're going to take a chance here and see who Blanco is.
Oh.
Blanco, welcome to Encounters.
Hey,
Blanco?
thank you.
Hey,
Pleasure to be here. I have encountered a UFO, and he fucked my ass. He fucked it so good. Fuck my ass. Fuck my ass.
You're corny,
Okay.
dude. That's so lame. That's so lame, dude. Corny.
That was really. I knew there was something. I should have never put that person on.
So corny.
I should have just blanked him right out. Moderator Skip to Grace just muted him. I would just block him, Grace.
Back in, yeah.
Go back in and block him. Don't even mute him. Block him.
Yeah, that's worth a block.
Yeah.
That was odd. To be that age and say stuff like that is weird to me. Very odd. And that's coming from me. Very strange.
And that's why we have such good moderators here. I normally will not let anybody on unless I know what they're going to talk about.
Yeah, don't
So-
come in and do that, man.
Yeah.
Don't come in and do that.
We don't tolerate that stuff on the show here. But we haven't had that happen in a while, and we just got them kicked out. So it's all good.
I hope you had fun doing that, because that didn't really.
Now, that's just
It's not going to surprise me, that kind of crap.
Yeah, that's just a troll that has nothing better to do.
Oh my God, bored.
And
He's in his
honestly,
mom's basement. We'll give him a break.
Yeah, and
He's
it
miserable.
just shows that we're shaking things up here when people like that have to come on here. They got nothing else to do. They better find a place to go meditate for a while and increase their vibrational patterns.
Right on.
Right on there. So we're going to wind down the show. And we want to thank everybody. Thank you, Jules, for the hands hard. Everybody, we love you all. And please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We have 36 of 100 subscribers. If we get 100 subscribers, that will help us on our goal to eventually have the money to get our C5 group at least 2 sets of night vision equipment. And we'll be operating our night vision, our Skywatch group or our C5 group when it gets warmer out in the spring, because now it's really too cold to get out there at night and stand out there with 20 people or 15 people and calling in our space brothers to come in with their ships. They'll be on the ships and we'll be on the beach sitting there freezing. So I don't think that works too well.
Yeah, springtime works. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Courtney, I see you have your stuff going there.
We have the stickers. We just don't have the badges above the name.
Yeah.
With the little
Hopefully that'll come back.
Courtney does not, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't have my moderator things. It's cool though.
And
we survived.
The most important thing is my friend John Connors in Arizona and John Connors is going to have a segment on the show regularly. And so he's going to be part of the Encounters group. So I'm very happy and excited to welcome him as an official part of the group. And he deserves to be there. I've become really good friends with him, and we have a lot in common, just like we do with Grace and Chezno. When I get to know people, there's a certain synergy, just like with James. There's certain things that happen. And
Loretta with the bus.
Oh, thank you, Loretta.
That was cool.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That bus was hauling.
So
It was going-
was asking
it was going
about
somewhere.
do we participate with Dr. Greer's C5? Yes, we use C5
Yeah, we do.
as our protocol
Yeah.
when you go out sky watching. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we do. We'll be starting that up in the spring, and we're in New England, so if we were in a warmer climate, we'd probably be out there more regularly. But we're now getting into winter in New England, and I've been out. Late Freight, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh wow, this is crazy, man.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you so much.
So, Commander, I wanted to
Yes.
ask quickly, guys, just put this in your in your memory bank. I'm not sure if we're gonna when this will be, but I really hope to arrange some type of meet and greet
Yeah.
with Commander and Chezno and myself.
That would be cool. I'm down.
And I'm hoping to shoot
it would be
for maybe in the
Well, thank you, Jules.
spring sometime,
Yeah.
summer, so people have enough time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun. Share some stories and meet other UFO enthusiasts.
Yeah, maybe Commander can do a little bit of a slight course, like where
Yeah.
he takes people off planet in the ship, Well, we'll talk about it.
He's
but-
like, I'm not doing that. I read his energy. He's like, that's not happening.
Yeah, he's
What?
like, what, Grace? What?
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Where am I going? Now, I do know that I want to eventually speak at some conferences around the country. But if anyone, if you see any UFO conferences that seem that they're open to more spiritual UFO or Ashtar Command related experiences, like what I can share at a conference, my lecture at the conference would be different than other people because I come from a different level of consciousness. And I don't think many of these UFO conferences around the world have had people on to talk from a perspective of, I'm not from this planet, I'm a human, I'm with Ashtar Command, I do a talk show, I do everything I do on Earth, but I'm not from here. And I think that perspective is missing over the years in these UFO conferences all over the place. You have the same people at these conferences every year about their books, about what they've done, about their research, but you don't have anybody talking and saying, hey, I'm here in human form. I really do come from Mars, and I want to tell you something about my experience. You see, that is ultimately where I'm going to want to be. I like what Grace is doing. I think it's a great idea. Let's go slowly treading in that way, and think of planning something in the spring. I'm all for it. I think it would be great. I'll let you handle that. I'm going to let you handle that.
Charlie work. You're doing Charlie work.
You do it.
Make the arrangements and we'll invite you, Commander. You can just show up.
Oh, look at this. Psychic dreams. I live in the most esoteric forest in the UK. My footage is phenomenal all night long until dawn. Psychic. Tomorrow night, if you'd like to come on, because I'm getting ready to go to sleep, I'm going to follow you. You know what? You have your thing on private. You have to switch it. You have like 12,000. You have 1,266 followers. I don't know how they were able to follow you. Turn your thing to
Reset
public.
your settings.
Reset your settings, and I'll follow you back. So tomorrow night, Psychic, we'd love to have you on, talk about your experiences in the UK. I really would like to hear your stories. And if anyone has any encounters, Patrick, thank you for subscribing for the first time. That's a beautiful thing. You're number 36, it says here. So thank you. Again, Psychic Dreams, we'd like to have you on. And anyone who has any visitations with ETs, I'm going to try to get us back on track to focus more on the space people and the UFO sightings, please share your stories with us. We want to hear them. And I want to thank our spiritual cosmic counselor, Grace Chezno, for being a great co-host. And we also, our other co-host, James, is coming back on slowly. So we're glad to see that happening. And we just love all of you out there. Please follow me. Again, we'll everyone follow each other. It's really good to help each other out here on encounters. So good night, everybody. I'm going to get ready to go off planet. And
Yeah,
we'll see
me
you
too.
tomorrow night.
Commander.
Tomorrow night. Yeah.
Good night. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care,
Night.
everybody. Oops. Let me just press the button here.